Welcome everybody. Just a couple of notes before starting. This is a CNCF community call, so here we are following the code of conduct of the CNCF, so please treat each other respectfully and kindly. And this call is recorded, so it may be shared publicly. So if you don't want to be seen or heard, please turn off your camera. And please remember to add your name under the who joined section in the HackMD file that was previously shared. Today, I'll be your MC. I'm Leonardo Di Giovanna. And without further ado, I think we can directly start with my lightning talk. So I'm going to share my presentation. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, welcome to this community call. In this community call, we are going to present the event generator, in particular, the revamp of the event generator. If you missed some previous call, please check the YouTube playlist that we are maintaining under Falco. So let's discuss about the event generator. Yeah, what is the event generator? Basically, is a tool that allows to generate different kind of suspicious actions, which are gonna be detected, hopefully, through configured Falco rules. This is important for two main reasons. These allow us to test Falco rules, to understand if these Falco rules are well written and we are addressing the exact payload that we want. And as a side effect, it can also be used to test if the rules engine in Falco works. So what's new? Basically, in the last month, we had this new command. It's called suite and is under the main event generator command. And it can be used to manage test suite. And the most important thing is that this test suite can be described by a YAML file. So we are providing the user with a freedom to describe in a declarative way the actions that he wants to perform to test the Falco rules. So there are mainly three subcommands. The most important one are the run command and the test command. And these are related. Basically, the run command is perform a subset of actions of the test command. They both understand the YAML format that we defined, and which can be consulted through the explain command, by the way. And the difference is that with the test command, you are not only able to run tests specified via YAML description, but also you can instruct the event generator to connect to Falco and verify if Falco produced the expected alerts as a response to the suspicious events that the event generator generated. So how can we write a test or more than one test actually using this new tool? This is here. This is an example of a test that we can write using the YAML format. As you can see, we can write multiple tests. This is just one big test. It's not actually one big test, but it is a test template, more accurately, because it can be used to generate more than one test. Okay, let's go through the syntax so we can understand better how to define a test. A test is defined, of course, it has a name. then it can be related to a rule. So in this case, it is used to test a rule, but by using the run command, you can avoid to specify it because actually you are not connecting the event generator to the Falco backend. And you can provide an optional description. Here we are gonna perform some actions on the host. And here there is one of the main sections that can be used to describe what to do to the event generator. Okay, this is the context section. You can specify, for example, that you want to run a test inside a container, and this will be the name of the image that will be used to run the test, and the name of the container that will be spawned. I want to stress the fact that here you can mimic the usage of this image, but actually the image that the event generator is going to run is an event generator image tagged opportunely by using this name that you provide here. So of course, all of this is optional, so you can decide to not run a test inside a container. Here you can specify a process chain. So this means that you can build a process chain and let the last process in the chain execute the action that you are going to define. Here we have a free process in the process chain. As you can see, you can customize the name of a process. You can customize argv0, the arguments that are gonna be passed to the event generator. And you can decide also if this process is gonna be run by the user, by a specific user that can exist or not exist. The event generator will take care of create the user. And as you can see, the last process, that is the one that is going to execute the actions that we are going to define, will be the root user, and will have these capabilities, only these capabilities. Then we have the main part. The main part of the test is composed by basically the definition of resources and steps. Resources creation is done before the execution of steps. While steps provide just very basic building blocks to define the actions that we want to perform. So in this case, there is just one step, sorry. The step is gonna run a system call, and the system call is the dup2 system call, and these are the arguments that we are providing to the system call. Instead, the resources provide an abstract way to perform more complex actions in an automatic way. So in this case, the resource is of type client server, and this is gonna spawn a client and a server, connect the client to the server if the L4 proto is a connection-oriented protocol. And of course, you can specify the address the server is gonna bind to, and the client is gonna connect to. Okay, so I explained this resource and also I explained the steps, and you can define multiple resources and you can define multiple steps. Now I'm going to explain this syntax that I used here. This is called the field binding, and basically it is a way of connecting steps or a step to a resource. In this case, we are saying that, I'm going to explain it with an example. In this case, we are going to say that we want the field old FD, that is a field of the dup2 syscall, to be bound to the client FD exposed by this resource. How do we know which are the fields that are exposed by one resource? We can expect, we can use the explain command to understand which is the field exposed, which are the field exposed. So in this case, once the resource will be created and the event generator is gonna execute, is approaching the execution of this step, it will substitute to this field the value allocated dynamically by the operating system to the client socket in this case. This field binding can be done in steps, and it can be used to refer to other steps exposed fields or other resources exposed fields. Instead, here we have a different syntax that is percentage that use the percentage sign, and this is a form of templating. Okay, as I said, this is not just a single test. This is a template, and in this case, we are gonna generate 2 tests from this one. I mean, not we, but the event generator is gonna do it for us. And we can understand that 2 tests, 2 concrete tests will be generated by inspecting this case part. Basically, the event generator will generate every combination of the provided values and will substitute this combination to generate one concrete instance of a test. So in this case, we'll substitute firstly TCP4 here with this, and we'll substitute address here, and then we'll generate a test with L4 proto set to UDP4 and the others set to this. Okay, if you want to know more about the syntax or the reasoning behind all of this, you can, for example, start by read the text of this PR. Okay, now I want to provide you with a demo. So I'm stop the share, and I'm gonna share my terminal. Let's see if. Okay, can you see my terminal?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, okay, let's start it from the beginning. Here we have 2 terminals, basically. In the top part, we are gonna run Falco. I'm running just this version because this is what I have available in my machine. But it is this works pretty much with all Falco versions that provide the capability to append the environment variable fields to the output. So here I'm gonna run Falco, and as you can see, we are providing this file as a real set. Here we have the material for our demo. This is the file that is used to provide Falco with a set of rules, and I'm going to inspect this file. Let's see what is contained here. Basically, this is a stripped down version of the Falco, the official stable Falco rules. I just copy and pasted this rule that is gonna test a reverse shell performed inside a container, and I just copy paste some macros that are used by this rule. Basically, this is a very simple rule. It's gonna check that a dup syscall that can be dup2 or dup3 is gonna be executed inside a container. Then it will check that the process inside the container is performing, is binding. It's one of these free file descriptor, 0, 1, or 2. So basically standard input, standard output, and or standard error to the socket that has been created. And so this is the rule. So let's see if we can trigger this rule by using the event generator. Here I have another file that is called test. This file basically is almost the same of what I showed you in the presentation, but it has this other test case that has been added here. This means that this test template is going to generate not 2 but 3 tests, and the final test case will test the rule for a Unix socket. So let's see if we can trigger the rule. This is the command that I'm gonna use to run the event generator. So the suite the suite command is using the test subcommand. Here we are providing our test YAML file. And here we are connecting to the gRPC Unix socket exposed by Falco. In this case, I am providing the Docker image that I built locally of the event generator, because we are gonna run the test, we are gonna run the fake process inside a container, because the Docker hub images are not yet updated. But once we update the official Docker images, you can omit these lines, these two options. So let's run the command. Okay, as you can see, a lot of logs has been generated, and here in the top part we can see that the rule has been triggered 2 times. But actually, we said before that the number of tests is 3. So what happened? In the bottom part, you can see that we have the report for the test suite. I forgot to mention that a test suite is uniquely defined by the real name, by a real name. So if we define multiple tests, all trying to test a single rule, then all these tests will belong to the same test suite. So here we have only one test suite. The test suite is identified by the rule name, as I said. And here we have the 3 tests, the results for the 3 tests that has been generated by the 3 different test cases. So this is the result for this combination of the input of the template parameters. And as we can see, this test generated triggered the Falco rule. So we have a successful match for one successful match for the rule. Also, this triggered the Falco rule. So this is also successful, but this test failed. Why? This test failed because if we inspect again the Falco rule, I'm gonna inspect again it. We can see that the FD type that we mentioned in the Falco rule is a IPv4 and IPv6. So this rule will be triggered upon the creation and the actions performed on an IF inet socket or IF inet6 socket, not IF Unix socket. So this is the expected behavior for this test. So that's it for the demo. Let's see if I can stop sharing my screen. Yes, I can. So let me go back to my presentation. Okay, can you see the presentation, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, if there is any question at this point, you can feel free to ask.
First of all, I would say that this is impressive. This is really impressive. I followed the development because I am the author of the previous event generator of the SEI. And I want to thank you, Aldo, and everybody work on this because this is really, really great. I know some folks that write rules for Falco almost every day, and this is a game changer for them. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for the support.
Just one thing to be clear. You demoed the development version of the event generator because we have not released yet the official version that will probably be out in I don't know, next month probably. I don't know yet, but it's already usable. Just this.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So any other question? Or
I don't have a question.
yeah.
Go on.
Okay. So
I just wanted to say something. It's not a question, it's more a comment.
Oh yeah. I know. I read the ArchMD. So if this question session, let's say, is finished, we can move on. If you
can't hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, technically it's not a question, it's more a comment. I just think it's pretty funny to see the way you choose to declare the test suite is pretty close to how Tetragon writes its rules. You have to basically put everything from the layer protocol, the number of arguments, their types, and so on. I just think it's pretty funny to see they look alike a little.
To be honest, I didn't I didn't go. I didn't try it, so I didn't take inspiration. But as you said, it is interesting that this is like a sort of technology convergence, we can say. Maybe this means that this is the good way to go.
Yeah, I think
Just a comment.
I can add some context here. At the beginning, where we were thinking about how to solve this problem, let's say having a declarative way to test the Falco rules. I have some experience with Ansible, and I took inspiration from what Ansible does. And if you see the different sections, also the test cases, it was the same inspired by the syntax of Ansible. I never used Tetragon, so I don't know how they declare their rules, but it's funny to see that it's similar to it.
By the way, in theory, they could use this tool to try to test their own action, in theory.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I think so, because yeah, the tool is generic. I think that the only piece that is need to change it is the interaction with the tool that is doing the detection to get the info and see if the rule has been triggered. But yeah, it's the core logic can be applied to every tool that needs let's say event generation in a system.
So I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind. First off, of course, congratulations. This is awesome work, David. I noticed you have case filters as matrix, and I think I know the answer to this, but do you have a way to filter out combinations of the matrix? Say you have different, like TCP4, UDP4, TCP6, and then you have IP addresses, and you will want the IP addresses for the 4 to match with the 4 ones and not the other way around. So you're on mute, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Okay, if I understood correctly, your consideration, here you can see that you can provide the multiple test cases, okay? So you can provide the multiple matrix to generate different kind of combination, even filtering out some values that you don't want to mix with others. And also there is the possibility to define one single combination of values using the strategy vector. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's great. The other question that I have, it's great that there's a PR documenting all of this, but do you have any sort of like formal documentation for the syntax to be used, or even like a JSON schema definition that you could
Okay,
look into?
yes. Oh, so there is the JSON schema that is used to validate for two purposes. One is to validate the input, and the other purpose is to generate the documentation. Okay, and the documentation is exposed through this explain command. Okay, if you, I can show you by just let me see if this is working. Just let me share my terminal. This is gonna be very quick. Okay, I mean you cannot see you can see my terminal, right?
Yes.
Okay. There is this event event generator like explain command. Okay, let me write it. Okay, as you can see, you can go and write like, okay, explain me what is the root of everything, okay? And it will tell you that the first field that you have to write is test, okay? That is a list of tests to run, and that test is used to specify the configuration. And you can move on and then say, I want you to explain the details of test. So it is gonna provide you with all the fields that are supported, for example, the rules, resources, okay? That is an array, and accept the minimum number of items is 1, okay? And so you can go and do like complicated stuff like, I don't know. Let me see if I can show you. Yes, this one. Okay, here you can also set like sub values for enum, and then because some fields are activated or deactivated based. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I can continue. So here you can say, for example, test.steps, and then you can set a value for this enum. In this case, there is just one value. And you can say syscall equal to, sorry, it's like type equal to syscall, okay? And it will unblock in the explanation of all the fields that are activated by setting the type to syscall, okay? Then there is another enum. For example, do you want to see the read? So you can the read arguments. So you can say something like syscall equal to read, and then you can see that there is this arg session. So dot section. Sorry. So dot args, and it is going here. It will explain you what are the arguments that you can provide to the read system call. So the length, the FD, the buffer. So these are the typical arguments of the read syscall.
This is awesome.
Okay,
Great.
thank you. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and so.
Yeah, well, here when we were deciding how to document it, that we were between, okay, let's write some docs that will get outdated pretty soon, or embed the docs into the tool. And that is pretty same. It is like kubectl explain, and you give the resource and it will get all the info from the API server. But in this case, we are getting all the info from the JSON schema that is embedded with the tool itself. And if you are gonna changing existing fields, you will need also to update the schema. In this way, you will need also to update the description that will be part of the documentation. And that was, let's say, our take for the docs. But for sure, I think we will add something on the repo and explaining how to get the most out of this explain command and the event generator tool.
Yeah, and I want also to add the last 2 bits of information. Basically, there is also the possibility to output the documentation in YAML or JSON format if you want. And yeah, basically I forgot what I wanted to say. So, okay, so I think that's it.
This is awesome. I've had to work with tools that have like examples and that's all they have, and you have to basically guess what you should be doing for like figuring out something, and just having just the JSON schema would be great. If you can also like query like the tool itself, this is awesome. It's great.
Yeah. And if you want to understand the syntax of the explain command, you can you can read the help message and it will teach you how to use that syntax. Okay, so my lightning talk, I think, ended. So the next point in the agenda is regarding Thomas. Thomas want to share a message. So please, Thomas, if you want.
You can hear me? Yeah. Yeah, sure. A lot of you guys already know that, but I wanted, by respect, to say it publicly. I decided to step back with the Falco project. It means I will take a long break with the project and any related sub-projects, including those I created, like Psychic or Talon. I will not explain in this call my reasons. Feel free to reach me on Slack later if you want to know more. It has been an amazing journey, 8 years, almost 9, something maybe 9, don't remember. It was my day job for the last 3 years, but I need to move on and see other stuff. So I was happy to share so many years with you. We did a lot of things, a lot of great stuff, and I hope I'll help as much as possible the community over the years. Good luck to all of you.
We will miss you, Thomas. You know, we already talked a lot. We will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you for your contribution in these 3 years.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you did in the project and the community.
I did my best.
Thank you,
Wasn't
Thomas.
enough, but yeah.
Thank you for all your hard work that you are doing, and hopefully we will keep in touch, and
Sure.
maybe one day we will have the chance to work together.
Small world. Who knows?
Thank you, Thomas, for everything, really. And
So,
for your official.
see you guys.
See you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you. Thank you, folks. Bye bye.